ありがとだ。
Eraser. I feel like this quirk held by Mr. Aizawa is kind of underrated. Often when we think of powerful abilities, our minds go straight to giant fireballs and blasts of energy. Imagine being able to just nullify your opponent's power just by looking at them. This quirk is used more defensively, and as pointed out by several characters in the series, it doesn't work so well in combat against multiple opponents because it needs to be looking directly at an enemy in order for the quirk to be nullified. It also has no effect on abilities not originating from quirks. This is still a pretty powerful ability if used properly though, and that's why it makes this list. Hellflame. Pro Hero Endeavor is the owner of this quirk, and it's a pretty powerful one. For a long time, Endeavor was known as the #2 hero right before All Might, but now he currently holds the #1 spot. Endeavor's Hellflame is incredibly lethal, and his experience means he has total mastery over his burning hot flames. He can control his flame's shape and size, and even use them to propel himself kinda like a jetpack. It also goes without saying that Endeavor's quirk makes him basically impervious to heat. His finishing move, Prominence Burn, can just eviscerate an enemy too, with the Nomu Hood. Next spot on the list goes to Healing. This powerful quirk belongs to Recovery Girl that allows her to heal wounds. I know it's not what you were expecting, but it's true. This quirk obviously isn't very useful when it comes to physically attacking the enemy. It's not an offensive power, but without Recovery Girl's healing quirk, there are many of our heroes who would never have survived the many battles they've been in. And in Midoriya's case, his body would have just completely been destroyed after going past its limits. Also, UA better hope Recovery Girl doesn't retire anytime soon, because they'd have to be much more careful about how they approach their exams. Seriously, they put these kids through some pretty dangerous tests. This next spot goes to the Rewind quirk. This quirk is held by Eri, who uses her special power to revert people's bodies to a previous state. Yeah, reverse my body back like 5 years ago, please. Or better yet, take me back even further so that I have the body of a little baby, but with the mind of an adult. So everyone thinks I'm this baby genius, right? I'd do well in this world, I think. Eri's Rewind quirk is obviously pretty useful, being able to heal wounds and even being able to reverse someone's body to recover a lost quirk. She also assisted Deku in reaching 100% full cowl, as she was able to rewind and heal him after the toll it took on his body. Shoto's half cold and half hot quirk. Yes, Shoto is coming in on top of his father, and though Endeavor may be a more experienced hero, let's remember, we're ranking the quirks themselves here, not necessarily the heroes behind them. And having the power of both ice and fire gives Shoto a much wider range of options and abilities. Shoto can control the elements of ice and fire as well as emit them from his body. At first, Shoto refused to use his fire half as he didn't want to be associated with his father, fair enough. But when he finally gave in and started using both, it's like a whole other realm of possibilities opened up. Need to burn something to a crisp? He's got you covered. Need to have someone encased in a wall of ice? Shoto's your man. Having power over fire and ice also means he's protected from both while being able to use both elements. It's the best of both worlds. Now, the downside is he needs to regulate his body's temperature in order to keep himself from being burned by his flames or getting frostbitten from his ice powers. There's always a give and take with these powers in MHA. I love it. This next explosive quirk takes the #2 spot, and it's Explosion. Held by Bakugo, this quirk gives him the ability to shoot explosions from his hands. Not only can these explosions be incredibly destructive, but Bakugo can also use them to fly through the air, kind of like a jetpack, except instead of a jetpack, he's just got explosions coming out of his hands that like kind of project him through the air. So it's not really like a jetpack, but I just really like jetpacks. The explosion quirk can be used to fire explosions rapidly like a gun. It can also be used to create an explosion around him that blinds his opponents. There's lots of stuff this kid can do, and with a little creativity, you know, you can do a lot with explosions other than just blowing things up. And of course, coming in at the top spot, it's Mineta's Pop Off Quirk. These sticky purple balls, just joking, obviously. Top spot goes to the One for All quirk. If this list were simply the strongest quirks in My Hero Academia, including villains, this spot could have gone to All for One as well. They're both incredibly powerful. One for All was possessed by the world's greatest hero, All Might, and its ability to stockpile power as it gets passed from hero to hero makes this a very impressive quirk. All Might was able to take down All for One in a weakened state, and we haven't even seen just how powerful our main hero Deku can take this power. This is only just the beginning. Well, I mean, we're entering to season 6, but I mean, who knows how long this show's gonna go for, right?